another one.
So this one says, let's go back to full screen. It says, I have an interview this week for a QA automation engineer. This position requires knowledge in Agile testing. Mostly I've been working in waterfall projects. I am not concerned about technical questions regarding coding/tools, but they explicitly said that they need 3 years plus of experience in Agile testing. What questions can I expect? I know more or less how Agile testing is conducted, from user stories, acceptance criteria to CI. Could someone please explain why someone would require 3 years of experience in Agile methodology? How is that important? What can I be asked about? Is that a smart idea to jump to a project with different methodology? Okay, that is a good question. And let's get to our answer. I'm going to start the clock. And I'm going to say this, right? Agile testing, so there's a course on Udemy called Testing in Agile, right? And I took that course when I was going into Agile, always getting prepared. So the thing is with Agile testing is it's learning how to test in smaller iterations. And I think that the reason that they would ask for 3+ years of that is waterfall and Agile is totally different. In waterfall, you're going to be planning for the entire, like, you're going to be writing a bunch of test cases, waiting a long time for the developers to say, okay, now this is ready to test. So your strategy is going to be totally different. I've been testing in Agile since 2016-ish, with about a 2-year break in between when I was working at my previous company. But the thing with Agile testing is you deploy, like at my current company, we deploy whenever the software is ready. Like whenever the code is ready, with the features ready, we're done, we deploy. At the company that I was working at Agile before, we would deploy like every two-ish weeks to different environments. It was like the old way of doing things. We were moving towards deploying like on a continuous delivery basis, right? And the idea of testing in smaller increments, testing per story, per feature, is a totally different concept to the waterfall methodology of testing everything at once. Very, very inefficient. Now, the reason that they would want 3+ years is because if you're going in as a QA automation engineer, I'll tell you this off rip. A QA automation engineer by default is already more advanced than a QA tester. So when they say 3 years of testing in Agile, it really means 3 years experience as a QA engineer, but in an Agile environment, because you need to be familiar with testing in iterations. You need to be familiar with setting up regression testing so that you can quickly run these tests and you're not, so the coding and stuff like that, but how do you use the code effectively? Do you have that mindset of shifting left, which comes from the Agile methodology? Agile, by its construct, is a shift left from waterfall, from the V model and stuff like that. So we're able to get a lot more done in a lesser amount of time, and we're able to get fast and continuous feedback. So being able to, so you understand the acceptance criteria to CI, but do you understand the acceptance criteria in a way that you're going to write effective test scenarios that is testing a specific feature and using your regression test to make sure that you're not breaking anything? Or not you, but that the development team is not breaking anything. And that's why they want somebody who is experienced in Agile, who understands the Agile methodology, the Agile functionality, so that you can properly advocate for QA. See, and that's the thing. This is where, like, Agile, like, I'm sorry to tell you, for all the people who are in love with manual testing and that they believe that they're going to be looking for jobs as manual testers, that does not exist. It's dynamic now, because you're also not going to get a job only as a QA automation engineer. You're going to be doing both. Simple, plain and simple. You're going to be doing both. All right. So you need to be able to advocate for QA, advocate for quality, advocate for your customers, advocate the risks. And you need to do it quickly. You need to be able to participate in the Scrum ceremonies. So participate in the story refinements, adding valuable insight that QA brings. You're not just sitting around waiting for the requirements to be given to you. You are part of creating the requirements, creating the acceptance criteria. You are part of the team. See, QA always believes that they're not valued, but the reason you're not valued is because you don't participate. You just sit around waiting for them to give to you instead of contributing. And whenever you contribute, people will see your value. Whenever you're providing that insight. So that's why I say that's why it is important that you have that, like they're asking for, and to honestly, like 3 years in Agile, it's kind of minimum. So going as a QA automation engineer, that's just what it says as part of the title. But you're going to be doing a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. So with that being said, we are going to wrap that question up.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.
Enigmatic Joker.